Hi everyone. I hope everybody's been reading some great books and is doing really well. My name is Michael, and I'm back for another review. This is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Um, it's one of the first, if not the first, Mesoamerican inspired fantasy books that I've ever, I say read, but I listened to this one. And I would say I've done a greater than average, but still not significant amount of learning about pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. And average is probably zero, so I've done like a step above zero. Obviously, still not much, but I have read a couple books. I can definitely see some, some themes, some strings that Rebecca Roanhorse pulled on when building Black Sun, the continent of Meridian. So, what did I like? What did I learn? What makes it special? Big surprise here. I liked the world. This secondary world, the continent of Meridian that Roanhorse creates, is inspired by Mesoamerican themes, but without being a one-to-one copy of the history of Earth in that region. And I think it's a great way to give the world freedom to evolve naturally on its own, to separate it from Earth. So in the book, we really only see Tova in any significant way, the religious capital of this culture. But other cities, like the economically powerful Cuecola or Teak, the mythical island home of Captain Giala, we see these different places in the world, and each of them puts a specific pressure or a mix of pressure on the characters, the plot, pushing the stakes, rising the tensions, the way that the national, international politics of everything kind of pushes our characters forward was really well done. What did I learn? Another pattern here, maybe you were seeing some of the deficiencies that I have when thinking about building stories. It's a lesson about characters. We have three main POV characters in this book. Serapio, kind of subverted, chosen one, destined to destroy his people's enemies, even though he may not feel a particular attachment to his people based on how he was raised. We have Captain Giala, a woman with magic powers, a mysterious past, a heritage draped in superstition and discrimination. And then there's the rags to riches high priest Narampa. So Narampa, Serapio, and Giala were characters that I all loved. They were all sympathetic, capable, and initiators when it came to their duty. But when it came to personal lives, they were absolute wrecks. Serapio struggled with conflicting desires. Giala was constantly running from her past. Conversely, Narampa follows a similar pattern. She's sympathetic almost to a point, but not as much as the other two. She is proactive as well, but her difference is she is fairly capable when it comes to her personal life, but almost completely inept in the political sphere. And as a high priest, you would expect her to at least have some political aptitude. So this incompetence mixed with being slightly less sympathetic than the other two characters, I would say, makes her a little bit difficult to root for, as opposed to Serapio and Giala. Seeing the contrast between two characters I like for different reasons, and then a third that I was not so much of a fan of, it puts in perspective how to build characters, and characters that will be embraced by the reader. Focusing on sympathy and proactivity is important, but I like when characters have something that makes them capable in a meaningful way, even if they are incapable in many others. And that gives the reader something to appreciate and something that gives them like hope to root for. Rooting for something that where you don't see a path to success, it's difficult to root for. So I think the paths that the characters take to achieving their goals in this story teaches a really good lesson about how to build characters for other stories. So, what's something about this book that makes it special? What's something that's what I want. Like, when I say what makes it special, I don't want to be like, what did I love about it that every other book might also do? I want something that is cool about it, a unique detail that no or maybe few other books have incorporated. And this little detail of the world, it's so incredibly clever. The currency on Meridian is cacao, a valuable substance used for culinary purposes, but also ubiquitous enough to be a money system exchanged for goods and services. A detail like this is just something that makes me smile. It's never really delved into about the economy of the world or anything. It's just like one of those little things that's warm and fuzzy, and whenever I hear like, oh, she bought a drink with 3 cacao, or something, it just makes me smile. It's one of those things that totally makes sense, because cacao is so valuable. So it totally makes sense that their currency would be something that's not just like ours that we put almost like imaginary value on, but actually has true value. Sort of like when metal was the standard coin back, in the old days. I mean, I guess we still have metal coins now, but in a way, cacao is even more valuable than metal because you can actually use it for something, and it's just a brilliant little detail to include in a book, and I love it so much. And I'm always probably going to think about this book when I hear the word cacao or when I see cacao somewhere. So it's just one of those things that makes it special, and that's exactly why I have this point in my videos, is for details like these. Well, that's all. I thoroughly enjoyed Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. As I said, I did listen to the audio form, and I can highly recommend it. There's a different narrator for each character, and they all beautifully brought the world to life. Thank you all for watching, and happy reading.